Okay, Fight Network here with Joe Diesel Riggs at the MMA Expo in Syracuse, New York. First things first, Joe, looks like you're seeing clean out of both eyes. I mean, how's the injury?
Good. After the fight, I had 4 corneal scratches on my right eye, and the doctor actually pulled a toenail out of my eye. But it sucks. You know, it sucks that people were talking shit. Because people were sending letters and stuff, and I mean. Dude, before the fight was stopped, the referee was saying, "Defend yourself. I'm going to stop the fight. Defend yourself. I'm going to stop the fight." Like 3 times, and then they're about to stop the fight. And then when he upkicked me, his pinky toenail went right through here. You can still see the scratch. I mean, it was a month ago. But you know, after he got up, he sat and rolled over, and I mean, it was irritating because I was, he was just about, he was done. But, I get my dick run in the dirt because the doctor stopped. I never said I didn't want to fight or I can't fight. The doctor held my eye open. He said, leave it open. It would shut. I couldn't leave it. I couldn't keep it open. That's all I said is I can't keep it open. But I said I could see, I want to fight, but no, everybody just kept, they kept talking shit about that. So.
Well, I think that's one understandable. I mean, yes, you're clearly winning the fight. You drop Ron Stallings with a beautiful left hand, and then the ground and pound itself, man. Classic Joe Riggs ground and pound from the guard, smashing him with elbows. That one, it's not like this guy's in a position to win this fight at one point. In fact, he upkicks you because he's losing the fight at that point. Yeah. Well, I don't understand why the fans would want someone to fight through an eye injury. You're someone who's had a lot of fights in your career. Clearly, you're there to fight. You are a fighter. No questions asked about it. Yet there's always that stigma. Oh, Joe Riggs wanted to win. Talk about this is your career. You got to preserve this victory. You're clearly winning the fight. I mean, you got to do it for yourself at the end of the day, no?
I didn't know they were going to give me the win. I didn't. When they stopped the fight, I thought they're going to call it no contest, and I was like, and I was upset. I mean, dude, I've had so many wars in my life. I'm not gonna. Why would I quit when I'm beating the guy to death? I mean, what people don't know is the guy was. He wasn't doing enough. I was knocking him in and out of consciousness. And the referee kept saying, defend yourself, I'm going to stop the fight. And then his up kick went up, so I said, oh, I just want to quit. No, I mean, I had no idea they were going to give me the win. I thought they were going to call it no contest. So why in the world would I do that? For one, why would I disgrace the sport? And I've been in wars, more wars than people even seen, man. Like my real records, on Sherdog, it's like 47 and 15, but my real record's 80 something and 80 something. Like my second fight, I beat Keith Jardine when I was 17. No one knows that, but things like this happen. They talk shit, but you can't please everybody,
If everybody wants to talk shit, they can go watch the Cabbage Carrera fight where you fight him as a heavyweight. And talk about that, man. You're a guy that has got to be a very notoriously good weight cutter because you've gone from heavyweight to light heavyweight to middleweight. Now you're calling welterweight home. I could even see a middleweight move back in the future.
My last fight was a middleweight.
Yes, exactly. So is that a case of you're getting older, you don't really want to cut the weight, or are you seeing with this IV ban, it's probably just best case scenario to hop up a weight class? You've had a lot of success at 185.
Well, my record at 185 is 18-2. Biggest thing is I got really sick from my last fight. I couldn't eat, and that's why my body looked just like it did. And I hit so much harder at 185. Like I feel because I got that one hitter quitter power, And once when I fought Cote, I dropped him the first round. When he fell, I choked him. But if I would have landed a punch like that, 85. It would lights out. Ron Stallings could take a punch, and when I hit him with that clean left hand, boom, like flat. And it's the reason why I'm going back to 85 is I don't like cutting the weight. I'm 230. I'm a big guy, but my power is there at 185.
You're also former WEC champ at 185, so definitely a place that you've had success.
Yeah. I'm a former Strikeforce champ, former WEC. Yeah, exactly. But 85, I beat Paul Filio. I mean, I beat a lot of guys at 185. People always call me old, man. 32, I'm not that old,
That's the biggest thing. Everyone always thinks, Joe Riggs is still fighting. You went to Fight Master. A lot of people didn't know you're still around. You come back to the UFC. That all aside, man, you've always been in the game. You've always been one of those guys that's chipping at it. And that's the shocking part is that you're 32 years old. As you mentioned, you've been fighting since you're 17 years old. How much has the sport changed in front of you? I mean, even just wearing this Reebok sweater right now, rocking the Reebok hat, things have certainly come a long way.
it's crazy. I mean, I remember fighting Joe Dirksen, fellow Canadian, because I'm Canadian too. I don't know if you know that I'm Canadian. Yeah. I was born in Quebec City. So I love Joe going there and fighting for 2,000 to show, 3,000 to win. It's crazy how much difference. You know how I've made in my career well into the millions in my career, and it's unfathomable. You know, we deserve it. We deserve a lot more. But, you know, it's crazy to watch it change. It's nuts.
Speaking of change, there's an old rumor that always floated around the internet that Kimbo Slice one time turned down a fight with you. You had it set up. They must have caught whiff of it and saw some video of you. This is a true story. What happened here?
I was 19 or 20. My coach at the time, Trevor Lawley, he put up his $50,000 with his guys, because you put up your money, they put it there, and the winner gets the money. So we would put it there. As I was like 9-1 in MMA, and it was only stand up. There's no ground, and I booked the flight to Miami. We agreed to it was going to be at a gym. There's going to be cops at the gym, so no one could be strong arm anybody out of the money. And day of the fight, I worked at the airport. He called and turned it down, said no. So I've been calling him, talking shit ever since. I mean, I wasn't going to him up, man. Especially not. I wasn't gonna just take him down. I was gonna bust him up in the feet. You know, I mean, Sean Gannon beat him, for love of God. You know, and that, I mean, I would have broken him like a bad stick. Man, it'd have been a bad day for me. I was a kid. You know, I mean, then he said, he goes, he's had pro fights. I mean, I had pro boxing fights too, but at the end of the day, yeah, that happened. He did do that, yeah.
So you got boxing experience now. Naturally, you're an orthodox fighter. Also, another rumor that as a kid, you started boxing as a southpaw. Your coach had you box as a southpaw to kind of give you a little more power, a little more of a different, tricky game.
I am a southpaw, but I'm right-handed. Like you said, I started wrestling and boxing when I was 10. Usually, people wrestle. They like to shoot off. They like to shoot off their. I mean, usually I can stand up. They like to punch off their lead foot, and so it transitioned over me shooting off my back leg. And my dad just loves southpaws. I'm a big fan of boxing, big fan of Rocky Marciano, stuff like that. So I always wanted to be a southpaw forever. I had a big right hand. My straight left was like, I'd be all boom, bink, and it just took a long time to develop it. But you know, now it comes, and it comes hard. So yeah, that's also a true story. Yeah.
What's next for Joe Riggs? What do you want to go from here? You're still a young guy. You're still 32. You're by far more, I don't want to say seasoned, because I don't want to be disrespectful by no means, but that's something that's super important. You see guys that are athletic. You see guys that are young. And what beats them is the crafty veteran who's been around the block. And that's exactly you. You're in a great position in your career to have some upset victories, to beat guys that are ranked, and to move up. What do you want? Is the goal always move up the ranks and challenge for a title? Or are you just looking at this point, I just want the biggest fights for Joe Riggs. I want name guys. I want stuff that'll move me along and then keep active.
Well, you know, I want to end my career on a good note. I don't want to, because I won 15 in a row, and I got comeback fighter of the year to Robbie Lawler in 2013. I lost. I mean, people said, "Oh, you went on a downswing, you lost." After I got in the UFC, I got hurt against Ben Saunders when it's getting put into a no contest. When I picked him up, he held defense, so I ended up falling weird and almost breaking my neck. And then with Patrick Cote, I lost a real close decision. You know, losing to Cote is no shame. You know, Cote's a good fighter. So at this point, man, I think I'm capable of beating anybody in the world. So I just want to have good fights, good names, and end my career on a good note. I'm not going to be one of those guys like Dan Henderson fighting in the 40s, because I've been fighting for a long time. You know, I've been fighting for many years. But I do have, this diesel's got some more miles on me. I can fight a little longer. And I wanted to be memorable. You know, like usually, like I talked to Joe Silva for my last fight. I fought Ron Stallings, who's a striker, and he's like, dude, don't just take him down. Stand up and see what he has. And I got poked in the eye, and I was blind. You know, and a lot of people would have just rolled down and quit off that. You know, that's the stuff that veterans do. I've been in every situation, every fight. I've lost in every way. I've won every. There's not one situation in a fight that I have not been in. So that's, and I was in another one, found a way to win, found a way to come back and do that. So the biggest thing is I guess I want to solidify my legacy in the sport as one of the greats.